If XRP is the settlements layer of the new financial system and is going to be trading above 5 or 6 digits in the future, why would the elites allow retail to hold XRP? In other words, why would the people running the game, making the rules, allow us to get rich out of XRP? I get this question on a daily basis. In this video, I want to break this down once and for all. First, I want to give you some perspective. There are only about 6 million XRP wallets in existence. In a world with billions of people, that number is insignificant. You might think 6 million people actually hold XRP, and here's the truth. When you consider exchange wallets, OTC desks, and most importantly, users that hold multiple wallet addresses. I am just one example. I hold more than 25 different wallet addresses for XRP. I am a hardcore user of the network. I do stay in contact with other holders, and I know for a fact everyone's got at least 3 different wallet addresses. I heard of few cases where the individual only has one single XRP wallet address. Just one example, if you hold XRP in your Xaman wallet and you have been trading meme coins on the last bull run, you automatically have 2 different wallet addresses. So wallets have different purposes, and the total amount of XRP wallets does not reflect the real amount of users and holders. We can fairly estimate there are less than 1 million XRP holders in the entire world. And here's the crazy part. How many of those people are going to hold XRP throughout the years? How many of them are not going to be selling everything at $10? How many of them are not going to be priced out? I've made this very clear. Once XRP finally takes off, either you are on board or you're going to be left behind. So why would the elites care if a couple thousand people are going to be rich out of XRP? Well, there is more to this story. This is a multi-dimensional chess game, and only a few holders are going to make this to the end. And I truly pray you watching this video are going to be one of them. First, because you're not going to leave your XRP sitting in centralized exchanges. Any exchange failure and your XRP is gone. Think of FTX. If any exchange goes down, so does your XRP. Do you really think they're not going to orchestrate exchange failures if they understand where XRP is going? Those people want to extract wealth. There is one more scenario that's going to substantially reduce the amount of XRP holders that's going to make it. I did break down the concept of wholesale CBDC and retail CBDC in my previous video, so if you don't know, go watch that video. But if they implement wholesale CBDC before retail CBDC, that means XRP becomes the settlement layer of the new financial system, where institutions are already transacting on the XRP network. That's exactly what's going to drive real demand and price appreciation for XRP. If at that point XRP skyrockets in price, let's say XRP goes to $1,000, there will be a vast amount of holders that will not be ready to deal with this moment. They will believe they are multimillionaires. They're gonna sell their XRP, exchange XRP for fiat currencies. They're gonna exchange XRP for fiat currencies just like euros, dollars, or any fiat currency. And those currencies are subject to hyperinflation. I have said this many times. XRP's success depends on the failure of the current financial system. So once XRP rises, the financial system is going to be falling apart. And if you exchange your XRP for dollars, you're going to pay the price. And here comes the worst part. This is just the first step. Afterwards, they're going to introduce the concept of retail CBDC, and they are going to invite you into the new system. You, Mr. New Millionaire out of XRP, is going to be invited into the CBDC system where money is programmable. They're going to demand your proof of funds, your exchange history. They're not going to make it easy. A lot of people are going to be left without a choice. You might be a millionaire in the old financial system, but you might not be that rich on the CBDC credit system, especially if you hold stable coins. They can seize, confiscate, and reverse transactions on the XRP ledger when it's about stablecoins. And don't get me wrong, any network that's going to operate with financial institutions needs a degree of control. Hence why the XRP ledger has a clawback feature that applies for issued assets on the XRP ledger. And here's the most important part. The clawback feature does not apply to XRP. If you hold XRP, nobody can touch your XRP. Nobody can claw your XRP. Nobody can confiscate your XRP. No government or centralized authority, not even Ripple themselves, can touch your XRP. The only path to ensure sovereignty is to not convert XRP to fiat currencies. I'm not telling you should not take profits. I will take profits. What I'm telling you is that you need a plan B. You need to hold a certain amount of XRP. Call it your emergency XRP. Call it your emergency XRP. Your bag that stays in the cold wallets for generations. This might be your final opportunity for generational wealth. This is not a financial advice. This is all based on my research and for educational purposes. I call it the XRP emergency bag. I will never touch it. It will always be sitting there. My final goal is that in the future we're going to be able to lend XRP to financial institutions through lending platforms and generate yields. You become a liquidity provider to the banks. You become an equal to the Santander's, Bank of America's, and other financial institutions. A Tier 1 liquidity provider. Who is more respected in the financial landscape than central banks and the ones that have liquidity? You, XRP holder, own the liquidity rails for the new financial system. Don't let the food scare you out of XRP. Understand what you hold. XRP is a financial weapon. And here's what nobody's talking about. My highly specialized legal advisors are already working on my digital wallet certificates. This is a duly certified document that shows central banks and financial institutions that the digital assets that I hold belong to myself. This is a long and extensive document made by certified lawyers where they look the history of every single transaction I did on the blockchain. They gather all of that data so that I can prove the origin of my funds. I know of plenty of people who became multimillionaires with crypto. They took the money out of exchanges, sent to the bank accounts, and that money got frozen. And some of them are actually still in the process of proving that money belongs to themselves. If you want more information about a digital wallet certificate, comment certificate on this video so I'm going to help you out. You can be in touch with my highly specialized legal advisors. In these crypto world, you have to be prepared for all. Thank you everyone. And if you want to trade crypto without KYC, I'm going to drop a link in the description of this video. You can withdraw up to $500,000 per day without KYC. Thank you everyone. I'm gonna see you in the next video. With so much volatility and uncertainty in the crypto markets, you can't afford any mistakes. So if you hold XRP and you leave XRP in centralized exchanges, you don't really own the keys. Your funds might end up being wiped out if there is an exchange failure. And this is exactly why Elipal is one of my favorite choices for keeping my funds safe. Elipal has the world's first air-gapped cold wallet. A solid device built in full metal that can resist physical damage. I'm currently using Elipal Titan 2.0. That's a solid choice for a cold wallet. This device keeps your funds completely offline. That means no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no access to external threats. This ensures your private keys remain offline forever. And this is also my favorite crypto card. This is called Elipal X Card Cold Wallet, and you can always opt for the 3-card setup, so in case you lose your card, you can always have a backup card. That's no issue at all. This card comes with military grade protection. It works offline, so you can basically use everywhere. It's built to use on a day-to-day basis, and it's also very small and easy to transport around. If you take your crypto holding seriously, you can't have your seed phrases on paper. And this Elipal seed phrase made of steel is actually the perfect solution. So it's completely waterproof and fireproof. It's made to survive natural disasters. This is built to survive natural disasters, so it's just a perfect solution if you want to keep your cryptocurrency safe. So if you want to get any of the Elipal devices I just showed you, I'm going to drop the link in the description of this video. You're also going to find the 10% discount code on the screen. So you can just pause the video, copy this code out, put that on the website, and you're going to get 10% off in every single one of Elipal products. Now let's get back to the video.